I know. Silence. I've been known to do that. I haven't done it for a few months actually, but silence. I have a joke. It's a little Tony joke. And I'm taking my time because a few people are starting to show up. But unfortunately, if they weren't here right at the hour mark, they're going to miss this precious joke. Okay, here's the joke. Little Tony was 8 years old, and he was staying at his grandma's for a few days. He had been playing outside with the neighborhood kids for a while when he came in the house and asked her, "Grandma, what's that called? When two people sleep in the same room and one is on top of the other?" And she was a little taken back. But she decided, well, he was old enough to ask. He's old enough to get a true answer. So she responded, "It's called sexual intercourse, darling." And little Tony answered, "Oh, okay." And he went back outside to play with the other kids. A few minutes later, he came back inside and said angrily, "Grandma, it's not called sexual intercourse. It's called bunk beds, and Jimmy's mom wants to talk to you." Okay, that's my joke for the day. Good morning, Saturday morning marketing. Smarties, how are you guys today? I'm having a heck of a lot of fun by myself and with my two co-hosts, and let's introduce them to you now. Molly, say hi.
Hi everyone, my name is Molly Youngblood Geiger. I am located in Jacksonville, Florida. The name of my agency is Design Right for You, and I participate with Google on several different platforms. I'm a Google Rising Star, I'm a Google Partners Community Ambassador, and a Google Small Business Community Advisor. Thanks for having me, Roland.
Absolutely, and by the way, Molly and I, as a team up, and as an interaction on Hangouts, are also celebrating basically a 1-year anniversary because she came on shortly after I started. I mean, probably to this day. I think it was maybe November 8th last year when you came and joined us, and it's November 7th, so a little shy of the full year. Also
Yes.
with us is Karen. Karen, please say hi.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be on the show today. I'm out here, as you know, in San Francisco and a marketing consultant, and looking so forward to meeting and finally seeing a lot new guests that we haven't seen in a long time. Or
Cool.
friends, actually.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I love about Hangouts is we meet and interact, and I've made probably more close friends in the past year than I have running around Southern California in the flesh. And maybe that's because I'm less presentable in person than I am online. I don't know. But anyway, really happy that we're here. Just offhand, I invited somebody a few moments ago, and she's probably wondering, do you want me to come in now or later? And I want you to come in now. Right now, sweetie. And so, you know, this is all part of our celebration. We're celebrating 1-year anniversary of Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, and I'm about to glow and just rise up to heaven because the sun is traversing my upper echelon here, right in the one place in the whole house where that beam of light can hit me during this morning session. And it's morning for me. I don't know where it is for you, but whatever time of day it is for you, thank you for joining us and having some fun with us. But for me, it's this sunlit moment after 11 o'clock in Southern California. So I'm about to glow for everybody. And it'll be temporary, but anyway. I'm also wondering if upper echelon here, right in the one place. You better turn your speakers off for a second there. This morning session, and it's morning for me. I don't know where it is for you, but whatever time. Barbara, turn your speakers off because you don't have any headphones, do you? It's this sunlit moment. Oh, you know what? Can you hear what I'm saying? I'm about to glow for everybody, and it'll be nod your head if you can hear me speaking to you. I'm also wondering if this is the oddest thing I've seen yet. There, your Okay, I think I better manage this one myself. And I will go to the control panel, and for now, we will do a mute on Barbara. Okay, so Barbara, in case you watch this and you're wondering, I have your microphone muted, and I'll unmute you later. Okay, oh, there she is. Maybe she's going to be able to say something. I don't know. Say something to us, Barbara.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you must be watching on YouTube or something. Okay, I'm going to mute her, and then we'll catch up in our time warp later on and have Barbara. The reason for Barbara being on the show is that a year ago, and actually October 18th to be official, Barbara was my very, very first guest in the green room in a Hangout on Air. She was the #1. There was another one, his name was Matthew Peters, and he's not able to be with us today, but they were the 3 that constituted my very first Hangout. So when you get started, you get started with a couple people, right? That's how you get started. And that's what I did. And lo and behold, before my 3rd week was up, there was Molly. And then somehow things started to take off after that. I don't know why, but it sure did. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. I'm having fun discussing it. And one gentleman actually says he has an award for me relative to the 1 year. Now, rather than bring this on too early and then say, oh, be anticlimactic about the rest of the day, we will discuss this award after the 3/4 mark or so, okay? So Richard Wright, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for whatever your award is. And rather than take the chance of destroying my entire show, I'm going to bring you on right about 11:45 Pacific Standard Time and see what this award is that you're talking about. In the meantime, I had a few things. We're going to have a trivia game. So I'm going to ask a few trivia questions right now. And let's back up for a second, Roland. Let's see who's in the audience right now. I know, of course, I know that Richard Wright has been here. Richard Wright started posting just after midnight last night. I mean, this morning. So he was the first in line, to say the least. And then he may have taken a break and gone to sleep, but at 8 a.m. he was back online posting in the Smarties comments. And he's been doing it off and on ever since. I've been chatting with him just before the show. The guy is posting in the Smarties comments. He's got to be the earliest early bird that we have. And then also, of course, Barbara Quick is with us now. And I don't know why she can't speak with us in the green room, but we have a time warp going on. And we might have to let you come out and come back in, Barbara, so we'll see what happens. Because, for instance, if I say, Barbara, can you hear me? If you can, nod your head yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, well, there she is. How about that? Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
We had a time warp, and I was talking to you a little while ago, and it was like not connecting, and you were like listening in retrospect, like a few seconds late or something. But glad to have you here.
Fix that for me.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm very happy to have you here. You are my longest-standing fan and guest and participant in the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. Welcome.
Thank you.
So the 4 of us constitute some very landmark things with the Smarties. We've had a few people come and go and had many, many people sit in for an occasion or two, and that's just the way these series go. But you have been around the longest as a guest, and then, of course, Molly and Karen are, they've been so reliable and so helpful, and really couldn't have produced the show without the 2 of them, so thank you guys very much. Now on with the show. We're going to have some fun. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got a trivia quiz show here for the next 5 or 10 minutes, okay? And the objective of the trivia is for you folks who are watching, whoever's watching. We also have, let's see, other than Barbara and Richard, there's Randy Smith and Nathan Siegel's there. Oh, hi. Welcome and glad to have you. Richard Clarkson checked in. Jeremy Murphy checked in. There's a lot of people coming on right now. Lowell Ann Fulsang is here. Yeah. And so that, you know, got a few friends coming in. I'm glad you're here. And now you can apply yourselves for the trivia. And what I would like to do is, after I ask the question, I would like you to post the answer in the trivia stream. And I know that the comment stream is not as reliable as some things, but it's all we have to go with. So whoever gets it posted first, the answer that's correct, they're the winners. And then you can measure out how many of these questions out of 4 you get right. So one of the questions you'll be able to get mostly right, and we'll give you a break on the 4th part of that question. But the rest of the questions you got to get right or miss them. So the first question, let's see what I've got. The first question, the trivia question to start off our little competition here. This one is concerning Karen, our co-host Karen. Okay, and as some of you are going to get this right off the bat, and some of you will have absolutely no idea, especially if you're more a recent follower of the Smartie show. Had a little mouth glitch right there. So anyway, here's the question. What color was Karen's headset here on Smarties before her red ones? What color were Karen's headsets on the Smarties show before her present red ones? Okay, now we're waiting for answers. See who answers.
Can I answer?
No.
Okay.
I know the answer. This is for the audience, I was saying.
I know the answer, but I'm not going to say.
Do you have any idea, Barbara?
It seemed like they were hot pink.
Yay! That is correct. I gave the people for a little break there, but nobody commented, so you win the prize. I don't know what that is, but anyway, you win it. And you came on the show, and those things were monumental. I mean, this hot pink, and the whole screen was dominated by the hot pink. The red kind of blends into your overall look. It is a little bit of an accent, but the pink headset went bang, and it was
actually, these are pink too. They're just muted.
Yeah, they're kind of they have what is that called? They're not fluorescent. There's a special name for that.
Metallic. These are metallic.
Metallic, right? They reflect differently in the sunlight. Okay, so that's question number 1. Now the second question refers to something about Molly. So before we get going with that, Molly, would you please turn your camera off for a moment? Thank you, and I know you can hear us, and you can go ahead and leave your mic on because the subject is about you. So you're welcome to protest. Oh, let's see. I'm starting to glow and blend with the universe here. But anyway, the question is regarding Molly, and everyone knows there's a bunch of Google stuff. Google this, Google that, Google that, or Google behind Molly. That's her room. That's the get up, and that's what she presents as the icon of who she is, because she's the Google lady, so she's got to have all that stuff. But here is the trivia question for Molly. What are the 2 stuffed animals behind Molly when she broadcasts on Smarties?
You want me to answer or
No.
to guess?
No, this is for the audience. I
Okay.
repeat, this is for the audience. I know
I
you
can,
know the answer.
I can give hints. How about hints?
No, let's not give hints. And oh, everybody thought that you had black headsets. Richard Clarkson said black. Richard Wright said black. So the Richards were wrong. And by the way, Lynn Sanders is out there. Maybe one of you could possibly send a little invitation out to Lynn Sanders for me. And you will find that I'm doing this quite often. Anyway, back to our trivia. What are the two stuffed animals behind Molly when she broadcasts from home, especially on the Smarties show? A panda and a penguin win the prize. Nancy Marie Stubbs. Okay, Molly, you can come back.
That's right. And the reason I have the panda and the penguin is they both represent Google algorithms that
That's
were
right.
designed to improve a user's experience on Google.
Cool. And
Here's a little trivia. Here's a little trivia for you. The panda algorithm, the person who developed it, last name is Panda. And that's why they call it the panda algorithm.
No way.
Yep, that's the truth.
Who would have known? So what nationality? What nationality is this person?
I'm not sure. I've never met them. I just know that I've talked to a few Googlers, and they know this person, and they mentioned to me that that's why they call it the Panda algorithm. It was actually the very first algorithm that they wrote to improve a user's experience, and then soon after came Penguin, and then soon after that came Hummingbird, and
Right.
so it's just a neat little piece of trivia to know that the person who developed the Panda algorithm's last name is Panda, and that's why they named it that.
By golly, I was really hoping to find out where he was from, so I would know what nationality pandas were. Just kidding. But anyway, we do have a couple more. Thank you for bearing with us with the trivia. And Nancy, well, that was a good job. Now, I would be curious to know how you remember that, by the way.
The person who developed the Panda algorithm.
So we'll see what her answer is. How you remembered that those were a panda and a penguin. Either that, or she might have checked on a previous video, which is what I expected people to do. All they had to do was look at an old Smarties episode, and they would see it right there. You know, well, most of them anyway. So anyway, let's take a pause in our trivia. We'll get back to the trivia in a moment. And we're going to say hi to Lynn Sanders, who's joined us in the green room. How you doing, Lynn?
Hey, Roland. It's so good to see everyone. I feel like I've been away from the world over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, my God, I know. Well, I'm glowing in the light, if you can see.
You are. You're lifting
and,
up.
I want you to be able to ignore that and concentrate on something. Your story. Just briefly, if you would, go ahead and tell people what's going on and bring them up to date. We'll give a couple minutes of the program to this.
Oh, God. Well, I actually even started an online journal website, but I've had to privatize it due to some family conflict where people don't like what I'm writing in my own family.
Oh, wow.
It's caringbridge.org, but if you send me an email, I'm happy to share it, with you. My son suffered a very surprising series of several strokes October 25th on a Sunday, and we think there are several causes for it. But we had to rush him to the emergency room on Sunday, and he went unconscious on Monday and was put into a mentally induced coma on Wednesday and Thursday. So obviously I was not thinking about any business. All I was thinking about is, will my son make it through this? And then he woke up on Thursday. This is just over the last 2 weeks, and then they moved him from intensive care down to regular floor where he is right now, and he's recovering, but he has a fair amount of memory loss, and he can't move his right foot, and he has blurred vision, so he can't read. But he's got his spirit back, even though he still doesn't even remember certain things like the current year or where he's staying right now. he's doing better, and they're hoping, well, they have a rehab space available for him on Tuesday, so I'm learning to advocate for him because they want to put him in a nursing facility for 3 days, and I really don't want that to happen because he's so stressed with knowing where he is now that to move 2 different places in 3 days I think will be hard. But
Yeah.
but he's really a great soul, and I'm just so grateful. I'm really grateful for everyone's prayers. Before this happened, and I'm hoping we'll be able to finish this, I was scheduled to do a final Difference Makers Summit on the law of attraction, and of course I canceled because I was not up to be on any program. But I feel like the law of attraction and prayer has been hard at work to help him in his recovery. So I'm just very grateful to you. It's the only thing I could think of doing, is pray. And I was really upset at one point when a nurse said to me, well, if he regains consciousness, I asked her when he would regain, and she said, well, if he regains it, and I just broke down because I couldn't just imagine my son lying there in bed not having consciousness, and I had everybody's support, and my rabbi came to the hospital and was giving me hugs. So I feel like now there's light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, he's smiling. He can make conversation. He may not remember a lot of things, but I feel he's going to recover. And he's only 25, so he has a younger brain. But again, I just want to thank you because it just puts life in perspective, when you have something pulled out from under you, like, someone who's very, very important in your life, all of a sudden, not being well, it just makes you see everything a different way.
Absolutely. And so I'm glad. I know that you had a short time to be with us, and I wanted to make sure you got on the part of the show. We've been talking about it at the couple of the Smarties episodes and mentioning it, and people have been responding and commenting in the stream and so forth. So I'm really happy that you've got a lot of energy and support of what's going on, and I had the utmost confidence that your son was going to come around, and exactly the way I figured. It's a time lengthy process, sometimes recovery, but it'll happen. So thank you very much, Lynn.
You can continue. I love your show, and I love everybody here. Thank you, my greatest, deepest thanks, and I will be back, soon participating. But for now, I enjoy listening to all of you and enjoy being around your positive energies.
Well, I was the one gifted with the opportunity to start your series, and you certainly have to finish it for me.
Yeah, so I'm planning to finish it soon.
We're going to come back around and have that law of attraction session. I'm going to be there, and I get to interview you. So
that'll be great. So thank you. So if you want, you can let me. I don't want to take time away from your other things, but I want to say one thing.
We're going to get bombarded in a little bit.
Okay, just one thing. This is, I don't know how everyone else feels, but everyone, learns in different ways. Some through more visual means, some through audio, some through tactile. So I just noticing your questions are very visual, and I'm more audio oriented. So I'm hoping you'll have some audio questions, because I don't always pay attention to what color are the headphones or the background of Molly's screen. They're good, but I think it'd be good to have maybe some audio.
Well, there are only 2 more questions, and they're all visual.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's good to ask you guys.
They're basically innocuous and, of not much value, but they're fun.
No, they're always valuable. Very good.
It is a video production, so we're going with the with the visual. Although, the audio, you're right. Some of what we talked about is everything that I asked about has been mentioned on the show at least once.
Okay.
So it is in definition, it is audio visual.
That's true.
But
and
it's mostly visual.
This would be good to have as a little booklet, like people who miss an episode of the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, they can have a little booklet guide. We could, purchase it so we'll remember these facts.
That's too much work.
Oh, okay.
Watch the show or get lost.
All right.
Anyway, thank you very much, Lynn.
Thank you. I'll bow out and watch from the outside now.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
So anyway, back to our trivia. The next trivia question is about me. And here I am glowing. The top of my head is seeing the light. But that's the way it goes. So, this question has actually 4 parts. But it's not all that hard. If you get 3 out of 4, you're doing really well. And you're very observant. And I'm going to go ahead and shut off my camera right now and keep on talking. Now, can everybody still hear me okay? Of course. And
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, the question is, other than underwear, what 4 things is Roland wearing on every single Smarties show? Other than my underwear, what 4 things is Roland wearing? What am I wearing every single Smarties episode? Oh, we're saying hi to Dr. Aranda. Welcome. I'm glad you're out there. Thank you for coming. And as you people are watching can well imagine, I'm so busy talking and interacting with my guests that I'm not watching the comment tracker where I should be. Let's see what's going on with that. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comment stream and so forth, so at least I'll try that. But guess that's what we have for our people out there. And as Lynn says, I am very visual and detail-oriented and aware of the decor. That's why she got the penguin and the panda. That was from Marie Stubbs, Nancy Marie Stubbs. So,
well,
okay.
Roland, also you're also a web designer, so I think that's where we're much more visual, right, than audio. So I think that's where it's coming.
Actually, I'm both. For online stuff, I'm very visual until it comes to these Hangouts. This is the only place I have a voice. So other than that, I am very visual, but I am very auditory too. And in my prior job, I did MC work, sound and music and dancing and party and karaoke. And oh, by the way, karaoke is the least paying job for the most work that you're ever going to do. So if you're a DJ out there and you plan on being a karaoke jock, plan on being poor. Okay. Oh, they're coming in with a few answers. However, they're not very accurate. Richard Wright says pants, and that's an odd thing that he would come up with that answer, because that's the one thing that you absolutely cannot see when I'm on the Smartie show. However, that is part of the answer. But pants is really not exactly accurate. When I tell you what the answer is, you'll understand why. Now, Dr. Aranda says she made a vote for one of the 4 things. She says glasses, and that is correct. So that's one of them. Glasses was one of them. Kudos there. So time's up. We're going to give you the others, and I'm actually going to show you and come back online. The other answers to the trivia are my glasses, my headset, and this blue shirt. And I've been doing that for months. So, you know, if you have a photographic memory, you'd get it right off the bat. And apparently nobody has a photographic memory, and that's unfortunate. But anyway, what is the 4th item? Richard Wright almost had it, pants. And the thing is, I talked about this a couple times. I've mentioned it, but I live in racquetball shorts. I am 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I am in racquetball shorts, and then.
Well, that one's hard, Roland. I mean, no one knows what you're wearing at the bottom, and if you're talking about visual, right? We only can see the upper half of you. So.
Except that I have mentioned the fact on at least 2 occasions, maybe 3, that I live in shorts. And I don't know if you'll remember this. It wasn't much of a mention, but that's all I wear. I wear shorts. So they're not technically pants. I wear pants maybe once a year, maybe twice, but I live in shorts. And obviously I said, well, you'll probably get 3 out of 4 And if you were happened to be privy to the discussion about the shorts, and I mentioned it, and you remember that, then you would get all 4. But 3 out of 4 would have been pretty good. Pretty good. Glasses and overshirt for 2. So, oh, headset, glasses, blue shirt, and hair. Well, you know, hey, that's reaching a little bit low end. So, let's see. Hi, Michael Thomas. Welcome, dude. Got here a little late, but I'm glad you made it. You missed the first 3 trivia questions, so you'll have to go back and listen to those. So, let's see. Yeah, my last question, because some people got here late, and please, the green room participants, do not speak up. But who out there knows who my very, very first Hangout participant was? Now, because of the 5 or 6 people who were here initially right on the hour and before, like Richard Wright, he was like here 11 hours before, making comments in the comment stream. But other than the ones who showed up early right from the get-go, who of you newcomers can tell me who my very first guest was on the Smarties show, Smarties series? And we'll just give that a second or a minute or so, because the answer is, my God, the answer is right in your face. And so why is it right in your face? Why is the answer so immediately attainable? Why shouldn't about 5 or 6 people be posting, oh, I know, bam, right there? Because the answer, I know that the answers will come streaming in. Barbara Quick has been with me the longest. A year and 2 weeks. She's been participating in the Smartie show. And there were 2 episodes that she and I and Matthew Peters were the only ones there. And then I think maybe on the 2nd or 3rd episode, maybe somebody came in. And then that was the time at which Molly joined us. And I sent her out an invitation just to be cordial. And all of a sudden it was like Molly was in the midst. I thought, oh my God, the Google lady. And she was right there, and I just didn't know what to make of that. It's like, hi, Molly, I can't believe you're here. It's like, what am I going to do now? But it worked out fine, and she's been with the program ever since. But anyway, Barbara Quick was the funniest, for the very first guest into the green room with the Saturday morning marketing Smarties. So Molly, you had something to add to our stuff?
Yeah, it was a funny story when you invited me to start participating with your Hangouts. I actually just maybe a month or 2 earlier had started doing Hangouts myself, and so I was still relatively new, and I had only hosted 1 Hangout, and I had my guests were Ronnie Benser and Zara Altair. They had agreed to be my guest, and I'd had several private conversations with Zara, and it was one of those things, I was like a deer in headlights for my first Hangout, and I think this is a good example of how somebody with maybe not any experience, or they're kind of shy, or they're not sure about Hangouts, how, you know, a whole year has gone by, and now look at us, you know, we're doing these shows every week, and we're talking about all these marketing topics, and I think that's just a really great example to show our audience that, you know, if you're out there and you're not sure, you know, how to do Hangout, or you're shy, or you just don't know what to do, just, you know, use this as an example. And I just started hanging out with myself, and then I started, you know, participating and watching them, and then now I'm a co-host on one. So I just wanted to point that out to our audience, that, you know, a good example of how our audience can participate in Hangouts.
Absolutely. And you know that we encourage the start, right? Don't hesitate. Don't sit on the sidelines. If you think about giving it a go, get going and give it a start. And it's not as intrusive and not as glaringly a problem as you would think it is. It's not as big a challenge as you think. Well, it's as big a challenge as you think, but you're imagining things. So when you actually get around to it, you go, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then you think, gee, I'm so great, I got through that. But it's not that big a deal, and you can learn to get involved and perfect this without really too much work. Some of the examples is that Nathan Siegel just started doing this a couple of weeks ago, and he is now going to be on the Lights Camera HOA series this week. And so if you're interested in watching LCHOA, my friend who was in the audience last week, Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, met Melanie in the green room and on the show, and then hooked up with her in the Google connection, and now he's going to be on their show. So he has his own show, but he's only done it like 2 times, and now he is going to be on LCHOA. So all the experience that you can get, the better. So anyway, that's.
And I would actually add to that, Roland, that something what I see a benefit of Hangouts is it really does a worldwide audience. You're not limited to just California or just Florida or just local.
Yep, agreed. I mean, when I was going along in Southern California, building up my 4 or 5 followers, and then suddenly I met Karen, and the way I met Karen was through Barbara Quick, who said, "Hey, come join this community." And I went over to the 28 Days of Love community and I joined, and suddenly, inside of about 2 or 3 weeks, we were going global because I had Karen come on the show, and that was the actual date that she joined us was February 14th. And yeah, because it was right on Valentine's Day, and I thought, what a cool idea to actually have Valentine's Day on the 14th and have a Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties show and have the curator, the leader of the group, 28 Days of Love community on my show, you know. So I invited Karen, and she was gracious enough to come on, and that was the start of a whole new thing. And we had a really great time in the community, and she is known for encouraging engagement, and she had the most serious engagement that I'd seen anywhere ever. And due to that, I followed Karen through the rough there and learned a lot about social media marketing and comment posting, and she taught me a lot. So that was, when she came on, that was part of the trip there, part of the journey. With everybody that's been on the show, I've learned something else, and I'm so glad. I was hesitant for a while to have people on the show, and I don't know what I was afraid of, but I guess we were all hesitant about something in Hangouts, you know. In my case, it was like, well, I'm Mr. Nobody. They're not going to say yes to me, and everybody I asked basically said yes. So whatever's in your mind, the easiest thing to conquer it is to go for it, to try it out. Ask. Ask and it is given, the law of attraction. But the main thing is to take action. Don't sit there wondering, or don't sit there doubting. We have to check it out.
Well,
so the hours.
Well, I think
Roland,
I also think, Roland, that what Google does or what Hangouts does, both, I think, it basically gives people empowerment. You know, when you think about the concepts of all this technology that we have, that it's basically free, and that we're able to communicate and talk to people literally globally 24/7 now, is amazing when you just think about what technology was even 4 or 5 years ago, right? Where we actually can just get up and have these conversations. And I think as Molly was talking about how she just started having Hangouts by herself, looking at the camera, and kind of getting herself comfortable in front of it, I think everyone should, you know, if you don't feel comfortable getting in front of a camera and talking to another person, I think it's really quite easy for you just to start and just video or film yourself so that you can get more comfortable in front of the camera. And you know, and back to the 28 Days of Love, it was totally amazing, because the fact is we had so many people globally that community was just kind of rocking 24 hours a day, because someone was always on talking to somebody else. And I think with the ties into connections and with Hangouts itself, people were actually able to actually meet each other and not just look at their avatars.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a really good point, Karen, and I'm just going to quickly share. Hangouts, in addition to shows and learning and that type of thing, it's really a great tool to interact with clients, customers, leads, and you literally can take your local business and expand it worldwide. I mean, it can happen if you want it to happen. And I know just for myself, well, I have a new manager at the Googleplex, and I'm doing a hangout with her next week, and I'm like super excited because I get to hang out with my new manager, and I'm just like if I hadn't practiced and known how to get on a hangout and how to act and lighting and all this background and all these things that kind of go into play, you just don't know. And I think for a business owner, and one of my clients is actually using Hangouts now to look for clients because the business here locally is just slow. And so I suggested to her, well, why don't you get on Hangouts to interview potential clients? And she's doing that. And so I think that's a really great case study that you literally can take your local business, and if you want to just do it nationally or internationally, you can make it happen with Hangouts.
Absolutely. One of the reasons that I get so distracted on the side of Hangouts is that I've got several conversations going at the same time, most of which I cannot attend to while I'm in the green room and conducting a broadcast, but nevertheless there's a lot of things going on. I just wanted to mention, because of this will get lost if we don't say it, Randy Smith has messaged me saying that he's having a difficult time learning the Hangout functionality in the green room. And just to let you know, Randy, I plan on having a session with you where I can teach you how to do those things so you can manage the comment tracker and take care of that stuff. So don't worry about it. It's coming. That session is coming. So just before we might invite people into the green room randomly or openly, I might just open up the green room to everybody. I just wanted to try a little something here. And would one of you, Karen or Molly, or both, do me a favor and send Gary Whalen an invitation to the green room? And I think he can do it, so if he can do it, Gary, you're welcome to join us for a few minutes in the green room, and we're probably going to be recycling people out if it gets really busy, but we'd like to have you come in for a while. So I know it's a bit of a challenge, with the technicalities and stuff, but we've gotten you into a couple of green rooms in the after show, but this would be the very first time during the show you were able to join. So how did we do? Were we able to send Gary an invitation?
I was going to actually was going to say, to add to Randy Smith's question about how to use Hangouts. Another great resource, Randy, if you're not a member, is to join user-to-user community. Those folks there are more than helpful in terms of helping you, learn the tricks of the trade in terms of how to actually use Hangouts. Michael Daniels and Andrew Hatchett, I think, are, as you know, if you've listened to me, are great, awesome people, and the resources that they have, and they do it all for free because they just want to build a better community. So if you haven't joined, you should definitely take the time and join user to user.
Thank you. That's definite. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of things at once.
Roland?
Yes.
I think Carmen is going to be watching to find out what that secret was.
Yes, that was my next thing on the agenda, to tell her what the secret was. The secret is basically this, Carmen. I've been trying to get you to say yes to be on the show for a couple months now, maybe at least a month. And the thing that you and Barbara were going to have in common, where you're going to be one of the first two people I invited to my green room, but she's not watching directly in a hangout opportunity positioning, so we can't have Carmen come on the show. But I'm after you. We're going to get you on the show one day, and almost like a free ticket, like when you'll say yes, let's get you on the show, right? But we'll do something. I know that you're the next in line. And another thing is, we just had Melanie Hall and her gang, Sheila Strover, and I'm going to forget everybody, Roz Betts, and John Jerkowitz on the show last week. We talked about her show, and it actually generated someone to be on her show. So I've got a couple more people for you coming on. And part of what we do on Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties is encourage people to get started and come on board. And so that's why I send people to Melanie. She helps you get on the show, learn something new, experiment with that, and get some experience under your belt. So that's what we were, trying to help her out do. So while we're doing this, I'm going to read off a list of most of the people that I had on the show, and it's Gary will probably not be able to join us today. So what does he say? I have my log, but it is not much used. I have been in the green room once with Karen and Molly, by the way. Okay, well, I don't. We're time warping into the present, Gary, and if you have, you find the button within the next 10 minutes or so, you can join us in the green room. So other than that, we're back at, outer space central to everybody here. I want to read over the people I had in the Hangout series in the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties series, and I'm just going to name everybody. At which point in time, I am going to personally post the green room URL, and whoever's out there that wants to come in can do that. I know that'll get a little bit hectic and stuff, but that's the way we're going to do it. And whoever comes in, be it known that we'll probably give everybody, if possible, a few minutes to tell us what your favorite episode was, or your favorite occurrence, or your favorite thing that you learned from the Smartie show. And then we may ask you to leave to make room for other people. But I just posted the link. Let me know if it shows up. We'll be looking for that. And we're inviting people to join us in the green room here at the party. Now, I know other people would have sound effects going and music and dancing bears, but I'm not interested in that. So we might go overtime if we get a few people and we have some fun in the green room and we're talking. But anyway, the green room link is posted, and now I'm going to read off the guests that I've had over this past year. Drum roll, please. I used to be able to do that a lot better. Anyway, okay, from Barbara Quick, everybody knows, and Matthew Peters, everyone's heard the name. Then I've got Molly Youngblood Geiger, Karen V. Chin, Terry Leigh Britton, Zara Altair, William Rock, Glenn Jewett, Heather Crafter, Bill Graham, my niece Trinette Hackett, Nancy Stubbs, Tim Longwell, Christy Lambert, Jimbo Marshall, Kristen Drysdale, Heidi Hornland, Adam Zale and Ben Fisher, Andrew Hatchett and Michael Daniels, Lowell Ann Fulsang, Carlos Savio, Virginia Parsons, Veland Hawkins, Lynn Sanders, Joel Sanders, Rain Dowell, Melanie Hall, Sheila Strover, Roz Betts, and John Jerkowitz. Holy smoke. Lowell Ann, how you doing? Greetings, lady.
Greetings.
How you doing? Thank you for joining us today on the Smarties and our one-year celebration. Is she lagging out, or is it my imagination?
Must be a connectivity issue.
Yeah, she's lagging.
Okay. So anyway, you may have to drop out and come back in, but you've got the link and you're welcome to join us. Maybe we'll be joined by Gary Whalen. Maybe we'll be joined by Dr. Margaret and a few other people, but we're just kind of like enjoying ourselves now. So I know there's only 10 minutes to go, but I wanted to talk briefly. Oh, Michael Daniels is commenting in the audience. Oh, there's Nathan. How you doing, Nathan?
Good, thanks.
And Nathan's going to be on Melanie's show, Lights Camera HOA, this Monday, this coming Monday. and it's going to be at I think at 1 o'clock Pacific time, and then you adjust that for your time. But he's going to be new on that show. So this is maybe the fourth or fifth different series of Hangouts that you've been on, Nathan? Hello? Hey, Nathan. How many
Yeah.
different series have you been on in Hangouts?
Fine, but there's seems to be a lot of echo going on.
Oh, well, sometimes Hangouts have that issue. So luckily it's not a really critical broadcast today. But for your own listening purposes, if you have speakers, do you have external speakers on as well as your headset?
I had to turn off the playing of the Hangout, and that's what was causing my problem.
Ah, there
So
you
it's
go.
fine now.
Sure. So anyway, Nathan, you're actually new to the Smarties lineup.
Yep.
As far as hearing, watching the show, you've maybe been aware of us for a week or two?
Just a week, and on very briefly last week, so I can't claim any favorite episodes.
Okay. Well, I'll let
Too
you
new
off
for
the hook
that.
then. Yeah. How about you, Lowell Ann? How you doing? Okay, your microphone is off, or disconnected possibly, or maybe there's just a lag out. Oh, we won't worry about it. One of the things that I wanted to wrap up the show with, as far as the live broadcast, is that for 1 year now we've been drilling the people who watch the show with a few principles, and something that I want to start off with Karen and Molly is what we feel are the most important factors. Now you know that I've always said outbound is out and inbound is in, and we know what that means. And then we talk about engagement marketing, and then we talk about education-based marketing. And anytime people want to be in a conversation relative to that, I'd be more than happy to jump in. But what else do you think are some things that we've emphasized on this show that have been the most helpful, most valuable to the people?
I'm just going to jump in there and say I think one of the things that we have talked about is video marketing. That's really important to use video, whether it be just a recorded video or Hangout or even just a private conversation. Google Brand Labs has stated that by the year 2017 they expect video marketing to go up by 74%. The main reason for this is because of mobile usage. And actually, I just did a post in the Google Small Business community about a marketing guide that Think with Google just offered. It's called, and it actually identifies the year-long cycle of when to engage with your audience, like Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, different events that happen during the year. So for me, I would say video marketing would be one of the main things to take away from the Saturday morning marketing smarts.
Thank you, Molly. How about you, Karen?
I was actually typing back to Randy Smith, so I was slightly engaged on another subject.
That's all right. I totally understand.
So repeat the question again. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Just like your takeaway of what we've accomplished in the Smarties Hangout during the course of the year, and Molly mentioned that we emphasize video quite often and developed a lot of conversations there. And I talked about, we've had a couple main topics, namely the engagement marketing, education-based marketing, and the whole principle of outbound is out and inbound is in. So what's your takeaway?
My takeaway actually is I think this show has been, helpful to people in a lot of ways because we've introduced or brought in topics they may or may not be familiar with. I know, for example, I talked a lot about collections, and I know we talked about other various Google products that you may or may not hear about. And also, we've been, I think, a great resource in terms of spreading the word and information about social media.
Very good. Agreed. So, how are you doing, Lowell Ann? Do we have a connection yet? we're still lagging out there. So I'll go to Barbara quick and ask her very quickly. Um, what do you think? What's your favorite takeaway from the show?
Well, I think about people being themselves, being real. Uh, People can pick up on that in a video or on a Hangout very quickly if you're not being yourself.
So the genuineness of what Hangouts represent,
Yes.
pretty much can't escape it. Like, people are going to look back at this episode and go, yeah, it was the 1 year anniversary. Man, that was the most boring show that I've watched in the Saturday morning marketing Smarties so far. And that's okay with me, because I really didn't mean to have some kind of monumental show today. I just basically wanted to reminisce, cover a few old things that we did, mention the people who have been on the show during the course of the year, and then focus on the idea that we've offered a value to the watchers and the audience that allows them to think it's a good thing and it's safe and it's practical to come back and watch the next episode. And if we create a value there, and if people feel comfortable being in our audience and in our environment and even coming into our green room, then we've basically done our job.
I agree.
So I don't have a joke to wrap this program up. You want to take it from here, Nathan? You can tell our final joke. No, I'm just kidding.
Fresh out. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. But,
hey, Roland, I just wanted to quickly share that the Marketer's Almanac that I just mentioned, I just posted the link to the event page so people can check it out. It really is a really good resource. I really recommend that you check it out.
Cool.
It's something that this is going to benefit from, this almanac, and it showcases all different types of infographics and articles, and prime times for business to advertise, and kind of gives them ideas. And I think I shared 20 different tips within the article on how you can use the almanac.
Yeah, that's cool then. And we do that. Molly is a great resource for connectivity on resources that'll help you out do your business and stuff. I wanted to bring this comment up that Michael Daniels said it's always great to meet folks in real life. I appreciate Karen Chin showing us the streets of San Francisco and Union Square. So, I mean, I think the point is they didn't know each other before Hangouts, but after Hangouts, they actually connected in San Francisco. I think it's clear across country. Is that clear across the country for Michael Daniels?
Yeah, he actually was out here for the TC Summit. So we met prior to the summit starting and gave him a little tour of Union Square and where the cable cars were and all the great stuff that's in downtown San Francisco. So he was actually, him and William Rock.
Oh, yeah, that's how cool. So, we can meet in Hangouts, but it gives us a reason to meet IRL, in real life. And that's got to be a very cool thing. That's like full circle on the whole concept of Hangouts and connectivity. So that's a cool thing. Well, that's about the end of the show here, and I'm ready to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for being here. I really want to thank my co-hosts. They've been here for the best part of the year, or a complete year in Molly's case. And of course, Barbara, I owe it to you a lot to help me for the moral support of getting started, because you were with me from the very, very beginning. I think that we were hanging out in Hangouts for a few weeks before we went HOA, and then you were there for the HOA, and you've been writing this journey ever since. So thanks a lot for being with me. And Nathan, you're probably the newest recruit, but you're jumping right in there, and you're getting involved in Hangouts, and you're going to be on Melanie's show next week. And so I encourage everybody to watch Melanie's show, Lights, Camera, HOA, and hear what Nathan has to say on that. Nathan also has his own show on Monday nights, Inner Peace Teachings of Nathan Siegel. So, Nathan, you're welcome to post your link out there if people want to get in touch with you.
Oh, sure.
One of the things that I'm leaning towards, and we'll be starting a brand new series in January regarding the concept of positivity. It's going to be called "What is the Positive?" question mark. And it's going to be concerning finding the positive about any circumstance or any situation. And we'll start that in January. It's not going to replace the Smarties. It will be something other than the Smarties, probably on a Friday during the day. But anyway, my exploits are going to double up. We're going to be having the Smarties for internet marketing, and then we're going to have this other one on law of attraction and being positive. So that's basically the wrap up for the future of what's going on in the Hangout life for me. And that's about it. I think that we're ready to wrap it up, and I thank everyone for being here and for commenting and being here to help us celebrate. So with that in mind, I'm going to say good day from Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, and we'll see you next week.